formally applied.
Regarding the Prime Minister policy, it's clear that the partnership and the development of partnerships with the right owners is not usual, because you could imagine when someone, me for an example, could call a right owner to explain that we want to have a sort of knowledge sharing between right owners and internet marketplace. Why is it a surprise for the right owners? Because the right owners need to share to an internet company some very confidential information about their products, about how they could detect counterfeit products. That is to say that they have created a sort of the best counterfeiters in the world, because we have many information to detect counterfeit products based on pictures, for example. So the first step for us was to create a sort of confidence link between right owners and internet company to explain that we want to have these proactive and preventive measures, and we want to receive information from you to feed our system, our tools, to detect proactively and preventively the counterfeit goods. Also, we could mention one point. It's clear that in internet company and an internet platform has more information than the right owners about contents, about the seller. For example, I could see about a seller his IP address, his bank number, his email address, how many accounts he could have, etc. All this information are hidden for right owners and are hidden for any users. So it's clear that we have more information, and we could use this more information to help the right owners in the detection and to create these preventive and proactive measures. So that's why we have decided to have this sort of partnership, and each week, each month, we could have some phone calls, some discussion, meetings with right owners to have more information or to explain that we want to share information with them. But it's clear that all right owners has not yet accepted to have this partnership with us. Each year we published a sort of charts about the biggest brands victims of counterfeiting on Prime Minister, and the first one, I will not mention it, it's a name of a fruit, and the first one, I've never decided, I've not yet decided to have this kind of partnership with Prime Minister, but we have decided to have this proactive measure also with this kind of brands, with our tools, with our system. But I think it's not perfect, but it works.
Okay, great. And Natalie, I know in France there have been a lot of voluntary measures as well. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about. I think it's called the French Charter, I believe it's called, and maybe the Internet Stakeholders Dialogue that has had the memorandum of understanding coming out of that.
Yes, and actually not only in France, because we started with cooperation agreement with Yahoo Japan on December 4th of 2009, when I was with Louis Vuitton. Then we signed the French Charter, which was between internet platforms and right owners. Which is about, on the one hand, notice and takedown procedures, and on the other hand, proactive and preventive measures. Lacoste also signed this charter, and I'm very pleased to see that that's the biggest change, I think, over the past years. We have more and more cooperation agreements like this one. We had two other ones for Louis Vuitton in 2010 before I left. Benoit mentioned the agreement we signed with Rakuten and Prime Minister. What has been a challenge was not the contents of the agreement, but to have CEO Mikitani in Paris, because his agenda is more complicated than President Sarkozy's agenda, probably. So that was it. We also signed a cooperation agreement with All In Market, a Korean auction platform, with Louis Vuitton. And now we are very pleased about the progress made within the Internet stakeholder dialogue, because as Benoit mentioned, on text, and we, Lacoste, are willing to sign it because we are actively supporting it. We think it's extremely important to develop this type of cooperation. As it has been said, there are two worlds. The legitimate economy and the underground economy. And all actors from the legitimate economy should cooperate all together, and that's only through cooperation that we will be able to make a little difference. Indeed, this morning we heard about this market that is booming, but we also heard about the fact that there is more and more cooperation, more and more organization, more and more IP policies, like the one that were described on Google and Price Minister, and that's the biggest change.
All right, thank you. We do have some time for questions, and I've been informed that the next discussion, which is on your agenda, has actually been canceled. So we have some bonus time for questions. So I don't want to keep you here too long, but we do have time for questions. So maybe answers as well, but we'll at least start with questions. So hopefully we can get microphones to people with questions on this topic.
Yes, I am Mr. Berbino, and I am one of the members of the authority in France have to enforce the graduated response. Je vais continuer en français parce que nous sommes quand même à Paris. On voit, il paraît des études universitaires, il y en a eu plusieurs en 2010, sur l'observation, en particulier du réseau BitTorrent. Il y a eu une étude américaine, il y a eu une étude de l'INRIA en France, il vient de paraître une étude conduite par l'Université de Madrid, et toutes ces études convergent sur deux éléments. Le premier qui aboutit au même constat que celui qu'a donné Ted Shapiro en citant l'étude InVision, qui est le pourcentage très élevé de contenus illégaux ou piratés, au-delà de 90%. Et puis, si on accepte la pornographie. Et puis, le deuxième point est que le nombre de sites qui mettent à disposition ces contenus est relativement limité. Ils en identifient quelques dizaines sur l'ensemble de l'Internet pour rendre compte d'environ 2/3 des contenus piratés. Si, par exemple, ICI s'appuie également sur ces recherches universitaires qui sont publiées et qui publient même l'intégralité des adresses IP qu'ils ont collectées.
I wouldn't say necessarily the academic studies themselves. I think what we really do rely on, though, is a lot of industry. Industry does understand where its products are being offered as counterfeits or as stolen digital material. It's something we've talked about too. Just candidly, studies are very difficult because you don't always know the motivation of the study one way or the other. And so I think for us, we will talk to industry. We did, in the second round of operation on our sites, we did seize 2 BitTorrent sites. We understand about cyber lockers, obviously. Cyber lockers are very challenging for a number of reasons, but it doesn't mean that they should not be a part of ongoing criminal investigations. So I think those materials have a good place in the discussion and debate, but I think we have to judge our determination of our targets based on a number of factors, including obviously the popularity and as well as the amount of infringing material on the sites.